Suicide, a growing problem in society, and no one wants to talk about it. Suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the United States, and men are more at risk than ever. Now the question becomes, why are men more likely to commit suicide? And to go even farther than that, why are young men at such a high risk? The culture of masculinity contributes to this. Mostly since men are more likely to successfully commit suicide due to more extreme methods, like firearms, jumping, hanging, and in fact, men are 2 times as more likely as women to commit suicide using a firearm. And this is mostly just because of the fact that men if they want to go out in such a more masculine way than just simply drinking poison or doing something viewed as unmasculine in today's culture. Another factor is the culture of silence that surrounds those dealing with depression and suicidal thoughts or ideations. This causes men to feel alone and hopeless in their battle against these thoughts. This contributes to the fact that most suicide done by men are seen by family and friends as something unforeseen, as many don't know about the inner turmoil these men face. A perfect example of this is a video documentary about a young man around his 20s whose father used to be the head of the Ministry for Health in Britain. His story is one of many young men face, a story of pain and suffering and having to hide these feelings away from others.
For mental health campaigner Norman Lamb, politics is personal, driven by the suffering of the son by his side and his long battle with depression.
It just takes over your head, basically. You can't think of anything else. And when you get into depression, you cannot think of anything else apart from the gloom of how you're feeling. In my toughest moments, you don't feel like there's any escape.
In your worst times, did you feel like taking your own life? Did you feel suicidal?
I've had those thoughts ever since I can remember. I mean, they're not very nice thoughts to have, obviously. It's really, really horrible, and you'd feel embarrassed to talk about them. At the time I wouldn't have spoke to my parents about it or my friends, because it's embarrassing.
Did you feel alone in trying to deal with this? Did you think there was no one out there in the NHS to help you?
Yes, definitely.
Well, I remember the moment when he said, why am I the only person who's going mad? And you just think, how tough is that for a teenager to have that feeling that you're the only one? And of course, you're not.
So this video talks about the major problem that a lot, if not all, young men face at least once in their life, about feeling alone and feeling like there's no one there to help them, that they have to go through this on their own because of what other people will think of them and how, they'll be treated differently for sharing their feelings. And then the final major problem or thing that helps push this problem of suicide along is those who are bullied because of their sexuality, because they're different than what society deems as normal. Now it's already tough for men to fully express their feelings and their emotions, but when there's that added pressure of being, bullied and being belligerently attacked because of who you are as a person, it makes it even tougher to want to express yourself, to want to find help, because everyone's telling you you're wrong or there's something wrong with you, and that's just not true. Now, the ethical system of Catholic social teaching really has 2 major parts that touch on these problems. That's the preferential option for the poor and human dignity. Now, first, the preferential option for the poor is giving options for those who are deemed less in society or below societal standards. And that's true for those who are bullied for their sexuality, because they are viewed, at least in a certain set of a group of people, a certain set, as being lower or being less than the average person because of who they are, which isn't true. And the violation of human dignity is because men and everyone should be able to freely express their emotions, their feelings, without being told, man up, or, grow a pair, and deal with that feeling no matter what. And that kind of ties into what I believe. Now, after doing a lot of research on this, it's evident that society somewhat needs to change to accommodate this, because it is a growing problem, and all men should be able to express their feelings and told it's okay to feel this way. It's okay to want to express yourself, because everyone should be able to do it. And it's already tough enough, with everything in the media, with, trying to keep silent, to keep everything closed in, that eventually most men reach a breaking point. So, being able to express your feelings openly would help with avoiding that breaking point. Now, there's many different organizations that help those who are depressed and those who are suicidal. And that's CALM, Campaigning Against Living Miserably, and the Suicide Hotline. Now, CALM specifically was made in the UK and helps those in the UK, but also worldwide, who are feeling down or suicidal, and tries their best to make them feel better through being there as someone to talk to. They've also influenced a lot of policies and laws trying to improve the way that people get help, and trying to help those who are suicidal or depressed. And then the suicide hotline is a more anonymous way to go about this, as it's just someone on the other line being there to talk to you, and you don't care what you say, because most likely you'll never meet that person again. And so, overall, through all this research that I've done through the capstone, it's time that society lets men out and express themselves, so they don't become trapped in a box and forced down.